Hey everyone, welcome back to FlukyFacts. In the last video, we learned how Alfred Nobel's vision created the Nobel Prizes, one of the most respected honors in the world. We also saw how the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize awarded to María Corina Machado reflected the Nobel's focus on courage and democracy, and how Donald Trump's expectations sparked debate about what the prize really stands for. Today, let's explore the stories, the people, and the moments that shaped this legendary award. These are not just awards, they are milestones in humanity's journey forward. So, before we move on ahead, let's quickly connect to where we left. Alfred Nobel's dream was to reward people who truly benefit mankind. He also saw how the Nobel system values long term peace and impact over popularity. Now it's time to see how that philosophy played out in real life through the people whose work transformed the world. Every Nobel story is more than a medal, it's a symbol of courage, sacrifice, and vision. Some laureates change society through human bravery, others through groundbreaking discoveries or acts of compassion. Together, they represent the timeline of humanity's progress, a story of science, struggle, and hope. The early Nobel winners set the tone for what this award would become. Marie Curie became the first person to win two Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry. Her discoveries in radioactivity changed science forever. Albert Einstein won for explaining the photoelectric effect, not for the relativity, as most people assume. And the very first Peace Prize in 1901 went to Frederick Passy and Henry Dawn, two men who defined humanitarian work and inspired generations to serve humanity. These pioneers gave the Nobel Prize its sole progress with purpose. The mid 20th century was full of moral and political crossroads. Martin Luther King Jr. won the Peace Prize in 1964 for his non-violent fight for civil rights. His dream of equality still echoes today. Mother Teresa's 1979 award reminded the world that peace also means compassion for the poor. And 1973, Henry Kissinger and Lee Gotto shared one of the most controversial prizes for the Vietnam peace deal, a decision that divides opinion across the world. This era showed that Nobel Peace Prize was no longer just about war and peace. It had become about justice, humanity, and moral choice. The Nobel isn't just about peace, it also honors discoveries that transform life itself. Watson Crick and Rosalind Franklin unlocked the structure of DNA, literally discovering the blueprint of life. Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel laureate ever, stood up for education as a basic human right. And AI Gore and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, received the prize for pushing global action on climate change. From science to activism, these winners proved that peace also means progress for our planet. But not every deserving persons received the Nobel. Mahatma Gandhi, the symbol of non-violence, was nominated 5 times, but never won. Nikola Tesla and Stephen Hawking, two brilliant minds, were also overlooked due to timing, rules, or bias. These omissions remind us that even the Nobel Prize has its human limits, and timing often plays a bigger role than we realize. Peace isn't always the work of one person. Sometimes it's collective effort. The United Nations won the Peace Prize in 2001 for promoting global cooperation. The Red Cross has been honored 3 times for its humanitarian relief, and Doctors Without Borders or Medicines Sans Frontiers received the award in 1999 for providing medical care in words. These organizations show how shared responsibility can create a lasting peace. As the world changed, so did the Nobel. In 2009, Barack Obama received the Peace Prize early in his presidency, a move that sparked debate about timing and expectations. In 2014, Malala Yousafzai became the youngest laureate, turning pain into purpose. In 2021, journalist María Rasa and Dmitry Mertvo were awarded for defending press freedom under pressure. And in 2025, María Corina Machado wins reaffirmed democracy as a pillar of peace. Each of these moments show how the Nobel Prize evolves with humanity changing priorities. So, what makes a certain Nobel Awards historic? It's when the recognition shift global thinking, like lightning new issues such as education, climate, or democracy. Sometimes it's the controversy itself that forces reflection and progress. In short, every turning point, Nobel changes how we define peace. When we look at the bigger picture, a pattern emerges. The Nobel follows the rhythm of humanity, from post-war recovery to civil rights to climate action. The Peace Prize mirrors world crisis over responding to reform movements and moral struggles. Every decade, the Nobel reflects what humanity values most and what it's still fighting for. And that brings us back to the 2025 discussions. Just like in past controversies, Obama, Kissinger, and others, Donald Trump's expectations for the Peace Prize become the part of public debate. But history shows that the Nobel Committee rewards consistent long-term peace efforts, not quick diplomatic moments. Its independence, as we learned in the first video, protects the prize from becoming a popularity contest. So, what do we take away from all these stories? First, the Nobel Prize mirrors human progress, but also imperfections. Second, every decision or even omission reflects the values of its time. And third, from Marie Curie to Maria Corina Machado, the Nobel journey is really the story of humanity itself, full of courage, hope, and lessons. Now, it's your turn to reflect. Which Nobel laureate inspired you the most and why? Do you think political leaders should receive peace prizes or should it stay for activists and humanitarians? And finally, what modern issue do you think deserve the next Nobel spotlight? Share your thoughts. I love to read them. This video was based on secondary research. Here are the resources list. I also pin down the link in the description sections for your reference.